I would suggest that you do not miss a single session. You attend all the lectures of the answer writing program as well. It's going to open up your mind to new ideas, to fresh perspectives.
So Smash Mains is not just a test series. ये एक इकोसिस्टम है और एक इकोसिस्टम को बनाने के लिए there are certain pillars. तो Smash Mains के ये 5 pillars हैं which makes this program an ecosystem. तो अगर मैं आपको पहले पिलर के बारे में बताऊं तो that is one-to-one mentorship that we give. Second is X Factor notes. Third is answer writing templates. Fourth is copy evaluation. And fifth is model answers.
The philosophy behind model answers is somewhat similar to the X Factor notes. That is the comprehensiveness, presentation aspect, multidimensionality are all there. But the one thing that makes the difference in the model answers, or I can say which enriches our model answers, is the focus upon the keywords from the questions.
Namaste. Regardless of how your prelims have been, this is time to change gears and move to mains preparation. Now, mains is a different beast. First, our Smash Mains Conclave is live. You will have sessions from top rankers whose strategies stand differentiated. They are not going to tell you any run-of-the-mill suggestions. They are not going to give you random gyan, ya obvious gyan. They have done something unique. They bring something new to the table. Hence, their sessions have been included here. Second, our top mentors who have a width of experience. They have seen thousands of students, all varying in their capabilities. They've held tens of thousands of phone calls, evaluated over 2,000, 3,000 copies each. They will present their distilled knowledge, their distilled insights to you. Arvind sir is also going to come up with an answer writing course. Answer writing in this year with the level of competition is at a whole different level. So you can't be using best practices that are 5 years old, 7-year-old. They won't work. The level of innovations that are being packed by top rankers is unparalleled. I would suggest that you do not miss a single session. You attend all the lectures of the answer writing program as well. It's going to open up your mind to new ideas, to fresh perspectives, right? So hope to see everyone here. It's going to be very interesting. Looking for feedback as well. Coming back to Smash Mains program. The closest analogy to what we do at Smash Mains is that of high performance sports, right? So if you're preparing for mains in 2025, you have to think, you need a system that actually athletes and sportsmen require. And the closest system to that is Smash Mains. You have a mentor who understands where you are in your answer writing skills, where you are in your preparedness, and figures out the shortest possible path for you to reach your next level and then your next level, eventual exam readiness, right? Eventually to the 450 level, right? So there are various models of mentorship that exist. You have mentors who take group sessions. Then you have mentorship where they say that if you have a doubt, then you can reach out to us. Smash Mains mentorship is not like any other mentorship that exists. To discuss more about mentorship, I like to call upon Arvind sir.
So before talking about the mentorship, let me tell you about the Smash Mains program. Smash Mains 25 प्रोग्राम हमने लॉन्च कर दिया है मेनली फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स जो इस बार मेंस का एग्जाम देने वाले हैं. और इन 3 महीनों के अंदर दैट इज बिटवीन प्रीलिम्स एंड मेंस हम इन स्टूडेंट्स को गाइड करेंगे थ्रू आउट और ये कोशिश करेंगे कि वो अपने आंसर राइटिंग में इंप्रूव करें और मेंस में अच्छे मार्क्स लेके आ पाए. तो मूविंग ऑन हियर, अगर आप देखें तो स्मैश मेंस के 5 पिलर्स हैं विच मेक्स स्मैश मेंस नॉट जस्ट अ टेस्ट सीरीज बट एन होल इकोसिस्टम. सो स्मैश मेंस इज नॉट जस्ट अ टेस्ट सीरीज. ये एक इकोसिस्टम है और एक इकोसिस्टम को बनाने के लिए देयर आर सर्टेन पिलर्स. तो स्मैश मेंस के ये 5 पिलर्स हैं विच मेक्स दिस प्रोग्राम एन इकोसिस्टम. तो अगर मैं आपको पहले पिलर के बारे में बताऊं तो दैट इज 1-to-1 mentorship that we give. Second is X Factor notes. Third is answer writing templates. Fourth is copy evaluation. And fifth is model answers. Now इन पांचों पिलर को डीप में जाके समझते हैं कि what they actually are. So the first pillar is mentorship. Now in Civilsdaily, the mentorship is all about fault finding and course correction. अब जरा मैं इसको आपको समझाता हूँ. There are two things in mentorship. First is throughout support that we give. And the second thing is post-test discussion. Now, the post-test discussion is a real part जहाँ पे एक स्टूडेंट का इंप्रूवमेंट होता है सर. Now, हमारे यहाँ का जो post-test discussion है सर, it's more about कि हम स्टूडेंट को एक नीश लेवल पे जाके उसके आंसर राइटिंग को इम्प्रूव करा पा रहे, rather than कि जस्ट मॉडल आंसर्स मेंटर ने जाके बोल दिया या 2-3 पॉइंट ऐड करने के लिए बोल दिया या डायग्राम ऐड करने के लिए बोल दिया. What we do is we actually find the blind spot in the student's copy. और हर एक स्टूडेंट के लेवल अलग होता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल स्मैश में सर रैंकर्स भी आते हैं. अब उनके आंसर राइटिंग को बिना चेंज किए हमें उनको इंप्रूव कराना पड़ता है बिकॉज उनका एक इनर्शिया है, राइट. सो उनके लिए एक अलग तरीके से हमें अप्रोच करना पड़ता है. फॉर बिगनर्स वी हैव डिफरेंट अप्रोच. सो द मेंटरशिप जो है ना वो स्टूडेंट को एक पर्सनलाइज गाइडेंस देने के लिए है, उनके पर्सनलाइज ब्लाइंड स्पॉट्स को पकड़ने के लिए, रादर देन जनरलाइज हम कुछ भी उनको बताते जा रहे हैं. और उसके बाद से जिस लेवल पे वो हैं वहां से हम उनको कोर्स करेक्शन कराते हैं सो दैट दे इंप्रूव और मीन्स में अच्छे नंबर लेके आ पाए. नाउ कमिंग ऑन टू द सेकंड पिलर दैट इज
Also, Arvind, I would like to add under mentorship that we have been the pioneers in mentorship. We have done mentorship for the longest time. We have been refining it, fine-tuning it year after year. क्या क्या components हैं जो हमें फेंकने हैं because they are not that effective. क्या नए components हैं, नई insights हैं जो हमको process में include करनी है. So our mentorship has gone through all these processes. Any new program that comes up, it won't have had this level of fine-tuning. Just one line about X Factor notes. They need no introduction. They are already a brand in themselves. Considerable enrichment has gone in the X Factor notes and they are microtheme based. I would request everyone to check them out for yourself to see. Shubham sir.
Okay. So, see, the basic idea behind the X Factor notes is twofold. Firstly, the exam orientation and the PYQ orientation. So each and every X factor that has been provided to you, it may sound bit mechanical, but we have kept only that much of the content which is relevant for your exam. We haven't gone into the aspects of the storytelling or simplifying the process, considering the competition that is there at present. Or if you see the toppers answers, any toppers answers of rank 1 to 5, you yourself will understand the level of the competition for which you require the consolidated and very enriched content. And that's the first philosophy that we have brought in our X Factor notes. Apart from the exam orientation, the second aspect that we have tried to cover is to cover at least 10 to 15 subtopics within every micro theme and in a most concise and a brief way without compromising the richness of the content. So this is the X Factor notes for the economics. So if you see the entire economics including the agriculture has been completed in 223 pages. You can show me any other material which is covering your economics plus agriculture with multidimensional perspective in 223 pages. Now, if we go into the depth, let's take any of the example. Let's take government budgeting. At the beginning, you will find the PYQs. We have based our X Factor notes on the 3 pillars. The first one being the comprehensiveness. Now, for bringing the comprehensiveness into our notes, what we have done, we have simply ensured that each and every aspect of the last 10 years of the PYQ has been dealt comprehensively into our notes. Apart from the PYQs, what we have also done, we have made a list of the expected topics from that particular micro theme and we have prepared the notes from that as well. Okay, this will involve your current affairs, and based upon the analysis of the PYQs, the certain aspects that we are expecting the questions from, we have tried to delve that into the notes. Okay, now if you see the government budgeting, so here, apart from coverage of the FRBM Act, GST, capital gains tax, etc., the question that we are expecting from is the public debt. This is your budget with the updated data from the recent budget. So this is the public debt on which we are expecting a question. So we have also tried to delve this particular aspect with comprehensiveness and data enrichment. Okay, the second aspect or the second pillar is the content enrichment and multidimensionality. Now, the content enrichment part will involve, like I said previously also, we haven't given a single generic point into our notes, or each and every point into the notes is properly substantiated either by specific data or specific example or by specific reports. Now, if you can see the public debt, for every point we have tried to give you the substantiation using the data and example, right? Next is the multidimensionality. Multidimensionality means, if you can see here also, for every aspect that we are covering, we have tried to give you minimum of 8 to 9 points. The logic behind it is, when and only if you read 9 points, then only you will be able to recall at least 6 points in the exam. So this multidimensionality not only helps you improve or fill the pages of your answer, but it also helps you improve the multidimensionality as well as the marks into your answer. And the third aspect of the notes that we focus upon is the aesthetic or the presentation aspect, where along with the enriched content, what we have done, we have tried to provide you the specific diagrams, the graphs, charts, flow charts, right? Okay, in order to bring that aesthetic aspect which give you the edge of 0.5 marks into your overall marks per question, right? So this is the basic philosophy of the X Factor notes. These are comprehensive, these are concise, and these are extensively content heavy notes, which I can guarantee should be your single point source for all of your major subjects into the mains.
Now moving on to our next pillars, answer writing templates and copy evaluation. Arvind sir?
Okay, thank you sir. Now, the answer writing templates. This is the third pillar of Smash Mains program, which makes the whole program an ecosystem. Now, आपको पता होगा कि यूपीएससी में कंटेंट तो इंपॉर्टेंट है, पीपल से कंटेंट इज द किंग, बट क्या सिर्फ कंटेंट के बेसिस पे एग्जाम निकाला जा सकता है? तो द आंसर इज नो. व्हाई? बिकॉज जो वेटरन एस्पिरेंट्स हैं वो पिछले 5 साल से 7 साल से पढ़ ही रहे हैं, राइट? एंड दे हैव बहुत सारा कंटेंट उन्होंने दिमाग में रख लिया. हाउ यू प्रेजेंट दैट कंटेंट इन द कॉपी, दैट इज द गेम, राइट? सो हियर द आंसर राइटिंग टेम्पलेट्स हेल्प्स. इसमें क्या होता है कि हाउ यू कैन स्ट्रक्चर द क्वेश्चन, कैसे आप अलग अलग क्वेश्चन की स्ट्रक्चरिंग सीखते हो, थीम डिमांड निकालना सीखते हो, कैसे आप पॉइंट जनरेट करते हो, कंक्लूजन किस लाइन में होना चाहिए. ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर द पार्ट ऑफ आंसर राइटिंग टेम्पलेट्स, जहां पे आपको एग्जैक्टली पता होता है कि कंटेंट का कौन सा पार्ट किस तरीके से डालना है जिससे आपको मार्क्स फेच होके आ पाए. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स व्हाट वी डू इज वी ट्राई टू टीच ऑल दीज फ्रेमवर्क्स टू द स्टूडेंट्स थ्रू आउट आवर डिस्कशन. सर, जो 12 टेस्ट हम कराएंगे अपने प्रोग्राम्स में, उनके डिस्कशन के थ्रू हम ये कोशिश करते हैं कि ये सारे फ्रेमवर्क्स हम बच्चों को सिखा पाएं. नाउ हाउ दीज फ्रेमवर्क्स आर डेवलप्ड, इसके बारे में मैं कुछ बता देता हूँ. सो देयर आर 2 थिंग्स इनटू इट. फर्स्ट थिंग इज कि आंसर राइटिंग का कुछ फंडामेंटल्स होता है जो थ्रू आउट ईयर चलता रहता है, राइट? एंड द सेकंड थिंग इज कि इस बार के जो टॉपर्स रहे उनमें जो जीएस पेपर के, हर एक जीएस पेपर के जो मैक्सिमम स्कोरर हैं, उनके टॉप 5 को पकड़ के उनकी कॉपीज के क्या इनोवेशंस हैं, क्या ऐसा एक्स्ट्रा किया उन्होंने जिससे यूपीएससी उनको मार्क देता है, वो सारी हमारी टीम एनालाइज करती है. उस पर सारे मेंटर्स ट्रेंड होते हैं. नाउ वी हेल्प द स्टूडेंट्स कि वो चीज़ें मिमिक हो पाए उनकी कॉपी. और ये समझना आसान है, उसको बार बार अप्लाई करना इट रिक्वायर्स एन हेल्प, राइट? सो हमारा जो मेंटरशिप है, जिस द होल प्रोग्राम जो हमारा है, उसका जो थर्ड पार्ट ये है, ये भी हम मेंटरशिप के अंदर ही अपने टेम्पलेट्स को सिखाते हैं.
So guys, I would like to mention another point here. Reading rankers copies and deriving insights from ranker copies is not an easy task. Rankers की copy पढ़ के आप you can any day conclude that अच्छा मैं भी कुछ similar ही लिख रहा हूँ, right? But ऐसा होता नहीं है. So our team, Arvind sir, Shubham sir, everyone, they actually take out 15 to 20 days and just focus on top rankers copies, trying to extract innovations that they have not seen before, right? And ये चीज काफी visible भी हुई है. There has been a paradigm shift since Shruti Sharma's rank, right? Yes. Since that year, we have seen like a huge jump in the quality of answers that top rankers are putting out, the innovations that they are packing in. तो उनको standardize करना और उनको आप तक पहुंचाना, that becomes one important aspect of the answer writing templates. Right.
Okay. Also, sir, I would like to say कि आंसर राइटिंग टेम्पलेट्स या टॉपर्स कॉपी को हम कैसे एनालाइज करते हैं, इस पे हमारी एक वीडियो भी आई है कि हाउ शक्ति दुबे इम्प्रूव. इट इज अवेलेबल ऑन द यूट्यूब, आप जाओ उनको देख सकते हो, राइट? नाउ कमिंग ऑन टू द फोर्थ पिलर ऑफ स्मैश मेंस प्रोग्राम, दैट इज कॉपी इवैल्यूएशन. नाउ थ्रू आउट योर मेंस प्रिपरेशन, कॉपी इवैल्यूएशन आप देखोगे बहुत एक सब्जेक्टिविटी लेके आता है. हमने सिविल्सडेली में ये कोशिश किया है कि हम इसको एक प्रॉपर ऑब्जेक्टिव अप्रोच के साथ डील कर रहे हैं. कहने का मतलब ये है कि इंट्रोडक्शन, बॉडी, कंक्लूजन में कितने मार्क्स देने चाहिए वो हमने फिगर आउट किया हुआ है ऑब्जेक्टिवली, जो कि एग्जैक्टली यूपीएससी में रेप्लिकेट होता है. दूसरा, विद इन द इंट्रोडक्शन या विद इन द बॉडी एंड विद इन द कंक्लूजन दे आर सेपरेट कैटेगरीज एंड लेवल्स. अगर आपने जिस थर्ड लेवल का इंट्रोडक्शन लिखा होगा, यूल बी अवॉर्डिंग बेटर मार्क्स. फर्स्ट लेवल का होगा, यूल बी अवॉर्डेड लोअर मार्क्स. एंड अगर लोअर मार्क्स हम दे रहे हैं तो वी गिव वैल्यू एडिशन कि क्या आप लिखते हैं एग्जैक्टली कि आपके मार्क्स बेटर हो पाते हैं. सो वी हैव ट्राइड टू रेप्लिकेट दिस. दूसरा, हमारी जो मार्किंग स्कीम है वो भी यूपीएससी के साथ हर साल हम कैलिब्रेट करने की कोशिश करते हैं. आपको पता होगा कि हर पेपर अलग अलग साल में अलग अलग तरीके से परफॉर्म करता है, अलग अलग मार्क्स यूपीएससी उसको देता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर बताऊं, जीएस में लगातार पेपर में मार्क्स कमा रहे हैं. ऐसे में आप देखेंगे 2023 के बाद मार्क्स आना कम शुरू हो गए. सो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दैट, बाई लाइक एनालाइजिंग टॉप 200 की मार्कशीट, वी ट्राई टू लेट्स से अपनी मार्किंग स्कीम को हम हमेशा अपडेट करते रहते हैं, सो दैट एक एग्जैक्ट एक्सपेक्टेशन जो हमारा स्टूडेंट है वो ले पाए. अगर हमें 90 मार्क्स लेके आ रहा है किसी पेपर में, तो +-5 मार्क ही कैन एक्सपेक्ट इन द यूपीएससी. सर आप कुछ बताना चाहेंगे?
सो कॉपी इवैल्यूएशन इज अगेन समथिंग जिसमें स्टूडेंट्स बहुत ज्यादा क्वेरीज रेज करते हैं. सो आई वांट टू मेक इट वेरी क्लियर दैट इफ यू आर सिंपली गेटिंग 50-60 मार्क्स, राइट, और आप कह रहे हो कि मेरे 70-75 आने चाहिए, दैट डजंट मेक टू मच सेंस. अगर आप उस रेंज में हो तो वहां सब्जेक्टिविटी और ज्यादा है, राइट? आपने जो पॉइंट्स लिखे, किसी इवैल्यूएटर को वो थोड़ा फॉरगिविंग इवैल्यूएटर थे तो उन्होंने थोड़ा सा और ज्यादा आपको मार्क्स दे दिए, राइट? बट इफ यू आर लेट्स से 80-90 के ऊपर अगर आपका रेंज चल रहा है, राइट, आवर फ्रेमवर्क्स विल इंश्योर दैट एक्यूरेसी इज इंश्योर्ड, राइट? आपका वेरिएशन जो है वो +-3-4 मार्क्स से ज्यादा नहीं होगा, ठीक है, रिगार्डलेस ऑफ द इवैल्यूएटर चेकिंग योर कॉपी. बिकॉज इस लेवल का स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन, इस लेवल का थॉट प्रोसेस गया हुआ है. थ्रू ईयर्स आवर इवैल्यूएशन हैज ऑलवेज बीन टॉप नॉच, एंड विद टाइम वी हैव अगेन बीन स्टैंडर्डाइजिंग मोर एंड मोर एलिमेंट्स, राइट? और आपको डेप्थ समझ आई गई होगी जितना अरविंद सर ने बताया. इट्स अ वेरी मैथमेटिकल प्रोसेस, राइट? इस बार जितने भी हम लोग मार्क्स देख रहे हैं, जो हम लोग रेंज देख रहे हैं सारे जीएस पेपर्स की, उस हिसाब से थोड़ा सा कैलिब्रेशन करते हैं. जितने इनोवेशंस देख रहे हैं उस हिसाब से टॉप आंसर की डेफिनेशन चेंज हो जाती है. सो या, ऑल दीज इनसाइट्स आर बीइंग सॉर्ट ऑफ accommodated in our process.
Yes. Now, sir, moving on to the fifth pillar of Smash Means program, that is model answer. I would like to call Subham sir for this.
The philosophy behind model answers is somewhat similar to the X factor notes. That is, the comprehensiveness, presentation aspect, multidimensionality are all there. But the one thing that makes the difference in the model answers, or I can say which enriches our model answers, is the focus upon the keywords from the questions. Normally the majority aspirants, what they do is they just identify or they just look the directive given in the question, and based upon that they structure their answers. But one important aspect which the toppers follow, or which every aspirant needs to follow, is focusing upon the keywords in the question. And you have to ensure that each and every keyword that is given into the question is properly elaborated upon into your answers. And that is the one thing that we have focused upon in the model answers. The second thing that we have also focused upon is going beyond the demand. Right? Sometimes if you see the answers of Aditya Srivastava or Animesh, many of the times what they have done, they have gone beyond the demand just 10 or 20%, and they have drawn a small table or a box, and where they have provided the additional information related to that particular theme, which brings the uniqueness into their answers. So in some of the questions wherever possible, we have also tried to follow the same strategy, and we have also tried to provide you that extra edge or the extra brownie points. So let me show you. So if you see, this is our model answer of, this is just the basic test. Okay. So the FLT level will be at least 2 to 3 levels above this. Now if you see, the question is on the menstrual leave can promote workplace equity, but improper implementation may reinforce gender bias and suggest balanced approach. Okay, so apart from the definitional introduction, how it promotes the or workplace equity, right? This. Then apart from the data and the relevant constitutional provisions and the keywords, this is what we call going beyond the demand, where you can simply draw a table and you can briefly highlight the steps taken by either state or corporates or the private member bill brought by the MP in 2018, right? You can also use this private member bill into your conclusion also, right? So this is what we call going beyond the demand, which we have incorporated into our answer. Similarly, the global best practices, right, with respect to the menstrual leave, and then the way forward and conclusion. Similarly, also if you see here also with respect to the question on the data, apart from multidimensionality, majority of the points, or I will say all of the points, are properly substantiated using the examples, right? Similarly, if you see of answers of the geography, again, and I am very responsibly putting that it is the basic test, the level of the model answers that you will be getting, or the level of the questions that you will be getting in our FLD, which had more than 70% of the hit ratio last year. So the level of the questions and the level of the model answers will be 2 levels higher than this one. Because this is again a 2 level higher content than the normal content that you will find, or the model answers that you will find in the market. And for the FLTs, the content and the questions will be 2 levels above this. Okay? So here also if you see, this is with respect to the geography. In all the questions, apart from the content and specific examples, I have specifically tried to provide the diagrams which you can easily draw into your papers. I haven't provided any of the complicated diagrams. You can directly replicate it into your answer. Similarly, here also if you see, with respect to the role of topography in creating microclimate, a simple diagram which you can easily replicate into your answer sheet, right? Similarly, here also if you see the question on the temperature inversion, again same level, right? So it's not just the content heaviness, but we have also kept in mind the actual answer writing of the students. So the data example or the diagrams, the presentation aspect that we have incorporated is in a way that you can directly replicate this into your actual papers.
So Shubham,
Yes.
there's one observation. A lot of questions, a lot of topics are covered via question in model answers, which you will not find in your regular notes, right? So
Yes.
this is also one important वो क्वेश्चन के फॉर्मेट में आपको कुछ टॉपिक्स कवर करने, जैसे यहाँ पे भी ये काफी सारी जो टॉपिक्स हैं वो आपको क्वेश्चन फॉर्मेट में ही करना पड़ता है.
Yes, right. Because see, the thing is, कि the questions that UPSC prepares, they take the theme from the static, but they ask the analytical question. So for example, a simple question is with respect to the local governance that they asked. Right? It was a pretty simple question. Give us the pros and cons of merging urban local bodies and the TRIs. Right? It was a completely static topic, but they have made it analytical by asking its pros and cons. So only same level of the analytics or the analysis you will find in the questions also. It's not just about the content, but in the question framing also we have followed the similar philosophy where we are asking the question exactly on the UPSC pattern. Right? Just say, for example, this is with not just this, but if you can see this. So role of topography in creating microclimates and their impact on the agriculture and biodiversity. It is taken from the question which was related to the monsoon, why it is called as Purvaya, and its the impact on the regional climate. Similarly, on the same theme, we have rephrased the question on impact of the topography on the microclimates. Right. So from here, you can expect a specific question on one single microclimate. You can expect a question how the this you can say Western Ghats or how Himalaya impacts the climate of India. Right. So if you have the dimensions of this, so height of Himalaya, then slope and aspect. So this Purvanchal and the northwestern Himalaya, right? So dimensions will remain same. Right? So even if they ask the question on the Microtheme, then also you can easily generate the dimensions. That is the basic philosophy behind the creation of the questions and the model answers.
On the creation of the question, this is the result of we being accurate, precise. So अभी आप लोगों ने शुभम सर की थिंकिंग देखी है, मॉनसून्स पे क्वेश्चन आया है and hence he thought of taking a different route. Now transitioning from what Shubham sir was saying about questions to the 90% hit ratio. So with mains, we have always been confident that there's going to be considerable overlap, and for the past so many years this hit ratio has remained consistent because our methodology of microthemes, precisely identifying the exact nature of the question, this methodology has remained consistent, and that's why we are much more confident relative to prelims. Definitely we are much more confident because prelims में तो option level की consistency, because prelims में तो option level की consistency achieve करना बहुत मुश्किल है, right? So the example that Shubham sir had just quoted, right? Monsoons पे questions आए हुए हैं. So he had put a question on microclimate, and then उसी से ही आगे extend करके he had a discussion on Western Ghats, right? ये thinking चाहिए to be able to produce some of the best question papers, some of the best questions, some of the best question papers, and that's why the hit ratio is this high. We can say with surety that if you attempt this year's Smash Mains FLTs and PYQs and perhaps last year ke FLTs, then you will be very comfortable when it comes to mains. Shubham sir, anything you would like to add to this?
No, if you just go through these questions, right? So, just for example, if you see, explain how narco-terrorism has emerged as a serious threat, suggest suitable measures. So basically what they asked is the issues or the challenges associated with narco-terrorism and the way forward. Now again, the FLT question was exactly the same, changing tactics of terrorist organization and drug traffickers have exacerbated the challenge of narco-terrorism, necessitating comprehensive risk mitigation approach. So basically it is also asking the challenge of narco-terrorism and comprehensive risk mitigation approach. Again, the same question, Digital Data Protection Act, we have already covered that into our FLTs. Again, with respect to the disaster resilience and Sendai framework, we have already asked the analysis of the Sendai framework. It is not because we were expecting a question on this in 2024, right? It was the criteria that we were expecting a question, but already that theme has been asked previously in the UPSC. In 2018 itself, UPSC has asked on the Sendai framework. So from there, we got our micro theme that one is disaster resilience and second, the Sendai framework, right? So from there itself, we prepared this question because we are expecting the return of that same micro theme, right? Because unlike prelims, mains has the pattern, right? So even if the formation of the question changes, UPSC asks the question on the same micro themes. And if you identify those micro themes, if you analyze the current news related to that micro themes, you can easily predict the questions on that micro themes, right? And if you attempt the 12 FLTs, which is around 240 of the questions, that will cover your 240 micro themes. I can easily guarantee that you will have the similar level of the hit ratio in your actual mains. And that will give you an edge, not just with respect to the content, but with respect to the time management. Just say if you would have solved this question and if you would have read this model answer of it, ठीक है, आपको you won't need 7.5 minutes to write that answer. ठीक है, आपको already पता है, it is same demand, the same content will be required. Just you have to recall and write in, and you will be able to finish that in less than 5 minutes, right? And you can give that extra time to the other questions.
And think of your confidence looking at the paper in the exam hall, and you say that I know 60% of the terms that have been asked here. I know 60% of questions. I have attempted similar questions, right? Similar theme demand questions. I've gone through it. It will boost your confidence like anything, right? So this is the level of thinking that goes in, and we see a lot of aspirants who are going to AI-based tools that generate questions, and they go there and they attempt answers there. I would like to say one thing, that they cannot match the level of thinking, the level of selection that goes in when we come up with a test, right? So ऐसा नहीं हम लोगों ने सीधे कीवर्ड डाला और बोला कि नार्को टेररिज्म पे हमें क्वेश्चन दे दो, एक क्वेश्चन फ्रेम होके आ गया. That's not there's so much more that has happened so that we have come to this term कि नार्को टेररिज्म पे हमें क्वेश्चन पूछना है, फिर उसका नेचर क्या होना चाहिए, क्या क्वेश्चन पूछना है, right? So a lot of thought process goes in, and that cannot be replicated by Gen AI, at least today, right? So जो भी आप लोग अगर इस फॉर्मेट पे प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं कि चैट जीपीटी बेस्ड टूल्स आपको कुछ क्वेश्चन थ्रो करें, आप कुछ अटेम्प्ट कर रहे हैं, आई थिंक दैट्स नॉट द बेस्ट यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ योर टाइम. समवन हु हैज पुट इन दिस लेवल ऑफ रिगर, वो क्वेश्चंस आपके लिए कॉम्पिटिटिव एडवांटेज सर्व करेंगे, राइट? दैट्स प्रीटी मच अबाउट इट, शुभम सर. एंड what should students expect once are the 75 days going to be rigorous? Yes, when is your next session?
I'll be having a first session tomorrow itself, where I'll be giving you the proper roadmap for the next 80 days. And from your side, we are not expecting much except for the discipline and the sincerity, right? You bring discipline and sincerity to the table. We are bringing the notes, we are bringing the test papers, we are bringing the best in the mentorship, and we are bringing the best in the fault finding, course correction, and the overall guidance that you require to cross 450 marks into your GS. So you bring in discipline and sincerity, and we are covering all the rest aspect of your preparation, right? So see you tomorrow at 11 for the roadmap for the next 85 days.
See you in the next session, guys. Thank you. Thank you, sir.